What's up guys, so in the previous video I started the challenge with a moderate rate day, losing about 48 bucks, but today is my comeback video. I was able to earn back those losses and more today, so stay tuned for the live trades. So if you want to watch more trading or investing videos, or you want to watch me day trade live on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And lastly, if you guys enjoy these live trades, don't forget to like the video, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. So if we go on to the market today, we're going to see the Nasdaq market and SPY. So for Nasdaq today, you can see that at the start it was actually uptrending, and then afterwards it started to push down again. And then for SPY as well, uptrending at the start, and now it's downtrending coming to market open. So the reason why it was trending upwards was that it had better than expected quarterly results from retailers. So that might be why the market pushed up at the start. No real reasons why it was actually trending down right now. Could be just pulling back from the recent uptrend. Yeah, so one thing to note was that SPY was very choppy yesterday, so I want to be careful about being chopped up again today. So I'll be more careful trading today with looking at SPY's movement. So looking at Tesla's chart over here, we are also concerned that Tesla from the pre-market session was also downtrending all the way. Important levels to be updated on would be the 581, sorry, the pre-market highs, and the 566.5, which is the pre-market lows. For NQ as well, 13,432.38 is pre-market highs. 13,300 is an important level on the higher time frames for NQ as well. For SPY, 417.55 for the pre-market highs and 414.03 for pre-market lows. Yeah, so then now we go to Tesla. Tesla gapped up, but as you can see in the pre-markets, they actually closed the gap and it's downtrending. So it's not much news on Tesla. It's probably being brought down by the market. Yeah. So then now let's head on to the live trades. So this is the start of the market open. I didn't trade here, but as you can see, Tesla was actually downtrending, and I was actually thinking of trading the break of the pre-market lows, which is the 566.5. so I would likely have entered around the 567 region, but it was really fast and I couldn't really catch it. I thought it would at least give me one more candle and then I would enter on the third candle, but as you can see, it's super volatile, and if it had entered around the break of 567, I think I might have exited for break even when it pulled back to the 567. Yeah, so probably I would want to enter around the break of 567 and exit probably on the break of 566. Yeah, so nothing too crazy about that. Didn't really participate in that. So let's move on to where I really participated in, which is much later actually. 38.35. Yep. So over here you can see that Tesla pushed up and then it's sort of consolidated around the 576 area. It is that's the most recent high, and it's a little bit choppy. Yeah, so now we're just waiting a little bit, wanting to see whether it can push up towards the 576 area. Yep, so the entry is around the 576 area, so around 575.7 is where I want to enter. So I'll be looking at the ask and the tape at this point of time. So you can see Tesla is pushing up very nicely. Tape is also printing above 575.7. This is where I entered, and then it pushed up very nicely, broke the 576, holding a little bit, broke 577, nice, 577.5. Can it break 577.5? A lot of orders coming in, 577-ish. This is where I locked in profits because it couldn't break 577.5. Was initially wanting to see if it can break the 578, but the initial plan was actually to enter at the break of 576, and then stop loss would be 575, and then break of 577 I would take my profit. So this was already way past my take profit area, so no problem locking in those profits. So very nice win on this, about 35 bucks for this. Then we go to the next trade, 43, 48. Yeah, so then afterwards you see after that nice trade that I took, Tesla pushed up even more, made a high of around the 579-ish area, and you can see the pre-market highs is also above that, which is around the 581 area. So we thinking about possibly entering at the break of 579 and then possibly hold and see how it can break the pre-market highs. So as you can see now, 579 is the entry area, so 578.7-ish is where I'm looking to enter. Yep, so 578s are holding. On the tape you can see as well 578.3, 0.4 all coming in. I'm not too good at reading the tape, but I don't want to go all crazy about it. Just don't want to take into account all the individual orders, but take it as a whole. Yeah, so 578, very nice. 578.6 I see on the tape, showing that people are buying up the stock. 578.7 I saw and I entered here, so my stop loss is the 578 region. So this was the part where it just dropped below the 578, couldn't hold, and I exited the trade for a small loss. But right after I exited the trade, it actually broke the 579. You can see very nicely broke 579. So this is the place that, you know, it really irritates me when you entered and then see it's pushing up very nicely towards the pre-market highs. 580s is already at 580s, 580s.6, and then it actually almost barely touched the pre-market highs at the 581s. It would have been a very nice $40 to $50 trade. But then if I had been in this trade, I would have moved my stop loss up to around 579 or even to 580 to lock in some profits in case it gets rejected around the pre-market highs, which is the 581 area. Because 579 to 581, at least it's a $2 nice move of $2. You could already lock in some profits. Yeah, so you can see it's actually getting rejected around the 581 area, and of course if I have won this trade, maybe around a $40 $50 win, but well, you can't do anything about it. It just pulled back afterwards. Yeah, it momentarily wigged me out, so perhaps I should do something about it, but we'll see what we can do about it later in the journaling. Yeah, so then goes on to our final trade for the day, 57 here. Yeah, so as you can see just now, when we saw it broke the pre-market, it got rejected at the pre-market highs, and then right now this is where I entered for the break of 580.5. So broke 580.5 very nicely, go all the way to 581.5. Yep, so my entry 580.5, I want it to break 581.5. That is where I'll take my profits. And I saw 582's flash, it pushed up 582's, the tape was printing very fast, and I locked in profits very quickly. So a nice $30+ win on this one as well, ending the day for a total of $55. And I think after this, Tesla really broke out after that, and it pushed all the way to the 559-ish regions, and I didn't chase it anymore. I was happy, 2 wins, 1 loss. I think I'm okay with that, and I ended the day with $55 for today. Yep. So that is the live trades, and now let's get to the journaling part for these 3 trades. So yeah, so this was the very first trade that happened. Oh, this trade I didn't take, but it was nice to see how Tesla actually broke the pre-market lows around the 567 region. So I guess some things I could be a bit more careful, or something I can prepare a little bit more was that I should be prepared for the second, to enter at the second candle instead of entry at the third candle. Something that I would be more prepared in the future lah. But at least these few days I've been watching how the open looks like. Yeah, so that I'll be more careful when it comes in the future. Yeah, we have been good to trade it, but as you can see from the start also, it was very wicky at the beginning at the open. So it's very risky to trade at the open because there's no clear direction. But since pre-market lows is there and it's a critical level, it's possible that it could break. Yeah, so this was the very first trade that I wanted to get in, but I couldn't get filled over here. But even if I had gotten filled over here, I think it would have been a break-even trade lah. So nothing too crazy about that. Yeah, so this was the trade that actually took this break of the 576 area. Stop loss was 575, and the take profit would be the break of 577. I got a little bit more, I think around the 577.5 areas. About $35 after commissions for this trade, and I think entry was really good for this trade. Stop loss should have been moved to break even 576 when it moved to 576.8. Yeah, but it moved so quickly and it broke the 577 mark, and that was where I was looking to take profit. So I hesitated a bit when it pulled back, and I quickly locked in profits for the trade. So I guess it's good that I entered well, and I also locked in profits for the trade. If I held more contracts, I would definitely have moved the stop loss up to 577 when it hit the 577.8 mark. But then when it pulled back, I would have exited whatever contracts left for about the same price as well. So overall a good trade, but because the price moved so fast, I barely had time to really process and think about moving my stop loss up. Instead, I just thought about locking in profits. So for this trade, so this trade was a problematic one where it broke the 579 region. It broke 579, my entry was 579, stop loss 578, and my take profit was potentially the break of the pre-market highs lah. It was a loss of 13 bucks after commissions. I think entry was okay. I quickly exited when it moved against me and it broke the 578 area. When I saw that the bids couldn't hold the 578 and a lot of orders on the tape was printing below 578, I wonder if I should have given it enough time. But usually I give it more time, the trade usually reverses on me harder and I can't cut my losses that quick. So I gave it about 1 to 2 seconds of time, maybe about 2 seconds of time, and it didn't bounce back immediately. So sometimes if it for the bids, if it breaks, like for example the 578 and then it jumps back up to 578 and it holds, that's okay. But sometimes when it drops and then it doesn't bounce back, that is where you're a bit afraid, because the pullback can come very fast. And it was very annoying to see that right after it wicked me out and then it started to go in my direction, and then it pushed very nicely all the way up to the pre-market highs. And I was just glad that I was able to control my emotions and not FOMO into that trade. And after you lose a trade, most of the time your first instinct is to revenge trade and to get into the next trade again. So I was lucky that I didn't I guess in a way I had good self-control. I didn't, like, after that loss, just jump straight into this trade and chase the push up all the way to the pre-market highs. So I mean, if I was still in the trade, I would have managed it in a way that when the price moved from 579 to 579.7, my stop loss would have been moved to 579, and then when it price moved to 580.7, my stop loss will move to 580. And then as you can tell from the video just now, it got rejected around the 581 area, and then it pushed down below the 580 area. So that is where I would have cut my losses at the 580 area. So probably rate about a 40 to 50 buck win on that trade. But after that, the trade that I took, the last one, was basically the break of the pre-market highs, which is the 580.5 area. So I gave it quite some time to consolidate and to form this bull flag over here, and I think this trade was actually pretty good. The entry was 580.5, stop loss 579.5, and take profit was around the 581.5, possibly 582 region. And for this, probably around a $33 win after commissions. Luckily I made it in time and I entered nicely for this. This trade really came very, very quickly. It broke the 580.5 and accelerated very quickly towards the 581.5 mark. So when it reached the 581.3 area, I moved my stop loss up to 580.5, break even. It hovered around the 581.5 area for a while, and when it finally broke 582 and the tape started to speed up, I took profits there. So ultimately, two nice wins today, one small loss, nothing too crazy, but at least the risk to reward for the wins and the losses are pretty good, and at least now I'm small green for the challenge. So I also realized that today I was a little bit, how would you call it, not very sharp today. I wasn't able to react fast enough and manage my positions. I just took profits very quickly. As you can tell, whenever it hit my entry area, it just burst all the way up to where I was supposed to take profits. So things I think I did well. I was able to have good entries, good job in locking profits consistently as well, and I was vigilant for the entries. So things I need to improve on are two main things. One is that I have to constantly think about moving up my stop loss and managing my position. So that was the thing that I really wanted to do, constantly be prepared to move my stop loss up and manage my risk, and not just think about taking profits and just winning all the time. And secondly, I was still very emotional and nervous about entering a trade. I get very jittery before the entry for the trade, and I think that stems from me not accepting the risk and not being okay with losing the trade. So I have to definitely tell myself before the trade that it's okay to lose. I've already lost the trade, so let's just focus on executions and see how this trade turns out. Yeah, so that's all that really matters. You never really know whether you will lose or you will win the trade. All you have to do is really focus on the process, and if you take enough trades, the wins should be more than the losses, and the risk to reward should be in your favor as well. Yeah, so all in all, I think yesterday I lost 48 bucks. Today was 55 bucks. So green 7 bucks for the challenge. Nothing much to complain about. Green is green, so just gonna focus and continue on with the challenge. Yeah, so if you watch all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.